They've never traded diss tracks, never clashed on social media, and have always been publicly respectful. But still, for years, the world has speculated about a rivalry between Rihanna and Beyoncé, two of the biggest music icons on the planet, two distinct styles, two global fan bases. Yet, behind the glitz, Grammys, and historic moments, there's always been that lingering question: are Rihanna and Beyoncé quietly competing for the same crown? Today, we dive deep into the timeline, the tension, the talent, and the truth behind one of pop culture's most whispered rivalries. Two powerhouses, one industry. Beyoncé rose from Destiny's Child royalty to solo superstardom, setting a gold standard for performance and precision. Rihanna exploded onto the scene with Pon de Replay, carving her own lane with edgy visuals, a Caribbean swagger, and fearless genre hopping. Though their musical styles differ, Beyoncé known for her polished R&B and empowering anthems, Rihanna for her raw pop experimentation and rebellious image. The industry has long framed them as two sides of the same coin. Both have broken records, launched fashion empires, headlined Super Bowls, and defined 21st century femininity in their own unique ways. But media coverage has often pushed comparisons. Album rollouts, fashion statements, even fanbase wars. BeyHive versus Navy. One polished and strategic, the other wild and unpredictable. And when two women dominate the same field, the world often insists they must be rivals. The Jay-Z factor. A key element that fueled the rivalry rumors was Jay-Z's longtime mentor and collaborator to Rihanna, and of course, Beyoncé's husband. When Rihanna was signed to Def Jam under Jay-Z's leadership in the mid-2000s, many speculated about their closeness. Tabloids pounced on every interaction, and despite denials from all sides, the rumors of jealousy and tension between Beyoncé and Rihanna only grew. Yet, there's never been a confirmed feud. No harsh words, no public spats. What we've seen instead are two artists navigating a notoriously competitive business while maintaining their own lanes. Rihanna has said in interviews that she looks up to Beyoncé, calling her an inspiration and a trailblazer. Beyoncé, on the other hand, has included Rihanna in tribute segments and playlists celebrating Black excellence in music. Different origins, shared spotlight. Beyoncé rose to fame through Destiny's Child, embodying polished perfection and discipline from an early age. Managed by her father, she was groomed for stardom with precision. Her transition to solo superstardom was seamless, an evolution defined by control, consistency, and a carefully curated public image. Rihanna, on the other hand, burst onto the scene with a Caribbean flair and rebellious energy. Signed by Jay-Z at just 16, she went from island girl to industry disruptor. Where Beyoncé represented structure, Rihanna symbolized spontaneity. She was bold, edgy, unpredictable, a star who evolved before our eyes, album by album. Their origin stories created contrasting archetypes. Beyoncé, the stage-trained perfectionist. Rihanna, the fashion-forward rebel. And those identities would quietly shape how fans and the media saw their careers. The media's role in fueling the fire. The rivalry may have been silent, but it wasn't invisible. The media stoked the fire constantly, comparing awards, sales, outfits, performances, even love lives. Every time Rihanna climbed the charts, someone asked if she was gunning for Beyoncé's crown. When Beyoncé dropped an album, headlines speculated whether Rihanna would respond. But perhaps the most speculated moment came when rumors swirled about tension between Rihanna and Beyoncé over Jay-Z, her mentor and Beyoncé's husband. Though nothing was ever confirmed, the gossip alone added fuel to the narrative. It created a dramatic backdrop, two queens circling the same kingdom, while their fans clashed on social media over who reigned supreme. Contrasting empires. Artistry versus autonomy. Though both women are musical icons, their business empires tell very different stories. Beyoncé has built her brand through partnerships, family ventures, and visual albums like Lemonade, which turned personal pain into cultural commentary. She's been a symbol of Black excellence, feminine power, and strategic branding. Rihanna, meanwhile, made history by becoming the youngest self-made female billionaire, largely thanks to her beauty and fashion empire. Fenty Beauty disrupted the cosmetics industry with inclusive shades for all skin tones, while Savage X Fenty revolutionized lingerie by centering body positivity and diversity. While Beyoncé leaned heavily into music and legacy, Rihanna diversified into entrepreneurship and global fashion. Their different paths didn't just reflect individual ambition, they redefined what success looks like for women in entertainment. Public perception and fan base wars. What really sets this rivalry apart is how deeply it thrives through their fan bases. The BeyHive and the Navy are two of the most dedicated, passionate, and vocal fandoms on the internet, and they don't play. Twitter wars ignite with every major release. TikTok comparisons trend whenever either woman drops a new look, and Reddit threads dissect every subtle interaction, real or imagined. For years, debates have raged over who's the better performer, who pushes boundaries more, who influences culture more profoundly. But here's the irony: neither Beyoncé nor Rihanna has ever poured gasoline on the fire. No diss tracks, no cryptic Instagram captions, no public shade, just consistent, side-by-side achievements that naturally invite comparison because both women are so powerful in their own right. It's less about drama and more about dual dominance. And yet, the underlying question persists. Can two black women sit at the pinnacle of pop and power without being constantly pitted against one another? The internet hasn't answered that yet, but their careers might. Mutual respect or strategic distance. Over the years, both Beyoncé and Rihanna have spoken positively about each other when asked. Rihanna once called Beyoncé an inspiration, and Beyoncé included Rihanna in a women's empowerment tribute video. Still, their interactions have been limited, their collaborations non-existent, and their public appearances together rare. Some argue this is calculated. By maintaining a respectful distance, they avoid drama and protect their brands. Others believe it reflects real competitive tension, two megastars operating in the same orbit, choosing not to collide. Beyond music, cultural and social influence, their impact transcends entertainment. Beyoncé's work with Homecoming, Black is King, and her philanthropic efforts with BeyHive positioned her as a cultural gatekeeper. Rihanna, meanwhile, reshaped global conversations around inclusion, not just in makeup and fashion, but in boardrooms and branding. Together, they've redefined what it means to be a global superstar in the 21st century. Beyoncé built a temple, Rihanna tore down a system. The power of silence. In a world obsessed with public beefs and social media call-outs, the Beyoncé-Rihanna dynamic proves something else. Silence can be just as powerful. This rivalry didn't need scandals to stay relevant. It thrived on mystery, contrast, and mutual greatness. In a way, that's what makes it iconic. It isn't about drama, it's about dominance in two entirely different languages. So, is it rivalry or just relentless excellence existing in parallel? Beyoncé and Rihanna may never say it outright, but their careers speak volumes. What do you think? Are they competing silently or simply thriving separately? Let us know in the comments. Smash that like button if you love a good industry deep dive, and subscribe for more untold stories of the world's biggest icons.